Good afternoon, everybody. This is Irene Weisman. Today is Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. As I was sitting in my office working, sort of thinking what we're going to talk about today, um, I wasn't sure. I had a few ideas in my head, and then one of my clients came in and we started working on her case. And something occurred to me, and I see this in my practice very often. And what occurred to me, what I wanted to discuss today is the importance of translations in the field of immigration law. So this particular case is asylum, and this is where I often see it happen. I've seen it happen in other places, but asylum work is where I often see it happen. The person prepares their personal statement as to why they're seeking asylum, and they do it in their own language, and then they give it to translation services for translation. And how the document is translated is very important. Because the individual knows what is stated in their original version in their own language, and they may not necessarily know what's in the translation. So what I often see is an accurate translation, and sometimes it can be, just one word, and that would completely change the structure of the meaning of the entire sentence, and on occasion of the entire statement, of the entire story. I once had, this was years ago, this particular client, they came into the office for a consultation, and I'm reading, that particular case was referred to in the immigration court after they didn't do so well at the interview, and I'm reading the original statement and I'm reading the translation during a consultation, and I'm listening to this prospective client, and what they're telling me doesn't make sense because what he's telling me is not what I'm seeing in the translation. And I pointed that out to him, and it was literally just one sentence that changed the entire meaning. And then that client said to me, the officer kept asking me this particular thing, and I kept explaining it to them, but they just didn't understand it. Well, the reason they didn't understand it is because something else was written in a statement. So the way something is translated could make or break the case. So point is, pay attention to translation. It is very helpful if you're working with an attorney who speaks your language. That way the attorney can understand. Once again, I can't stress this enough, very important that you're working with a licensed attorney. A notary or a paralegal is not even going to pay attention to something like this. Oftentimes they may be the ones that are doing, the bad translation. So that shouldn't happen with a professional licensed attorney with experience, okay? They should be able to catch those discrepancies, especially in a statement. And once again, unfortunately, it just happens very often. I see it very often, and it can literally make or break the case. So, point is, translations, incredibly important. Pay attention to translations. You should always pay attention to everything that you do. We lawyers, we make mistakes too. Sometimes just too many things going on. You shouldn't just sign off on documents. You should always review. And if you don't understand, take it home, read it, in Google Translate. People do this all the time. That's how it should be done. Don't just blank sign anything. Always read, always review. I have clients that don't necessarily speak English, and because they are in the habit of reviewing everything that they sign, they find mistakes, and sometimes it can be a minor mistake, but it's a mistake and it should be fixed, okay? So read everything before you sign it. Check all translations. Just take the time, take those few extra minutes. Sometimes it's more than a few extra minutes. Sometimes it will take you a little bit longer, but it's your life. These are your documents. This is very important to you. Check it. Okay, and when in doubt, speak to your attorney. If the attorney doesn't catch it, but you see something, bring it up. Okay, discuss it with your lawyer. Very important. Okay, so that's I think a very good practice pointer, something you should be paying attention to in all of your documents and all of the aspects of immigration law, whether it's, doesn't matter if it's asylum or not. Translations, if you are from a country where English is not the main language, this applies to you. Okay, so best of luck, everybody. Just be more mindful, pay attention, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.